Welcome back to the next tutorial video for Advanced Stats Football. In this video, I'm showing you how to work the game card, penalties, and then we'll talk about kickoffs and punts in a separate video. But let's talk about the game board and penalties first. So we have our football field. This was actually inspired by a field that I saw for second season football that Al Wilson created. So this was, the idea was taken from there, but I made it sort of for my own aesthetic here. But essentially, this is the 1 yard line and goes to the 10 and kind of moves this way up the field. And so you can go to the 50, and then from the 50 you do the same motion, so you're going up to down, right? And then here we have an extra, so it's basically the end zone. We have our first, second, third down counters, and then down here we have the timing that you can use for the game for each quarter. There's a little hint here at how timing works. So 30 seconds are taken off the clock for rushes, completed passes, sacks. 15 seconds are taken off the clock for incomplete passes, punts, kickoffs, and field goals. And then under 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes in the second and fourth quarters is basically like a 2-minute drill, right? So all plays are going to be 15 seconds. So we sort of assume a hurry up offense. Now, if you're trying to run out the clock, you can call that and say, I'm trying to run out the clock. And so you could do the 30 seconds for that. If you're in a blowout game, you can just let 30 seconds run off the clock for each play. But basically you move this way, and for every play you're just moving a marker. And I like to use dimes. Dimes are a good size for this. You could use a smaller marker or a different sort of game token to do that. But essentially there's a running play, so you take 30 seconds off, and there's an incomplete pass, that's 15 seconds, and then a completed pass, that's another 30 seconds. So you're just moving down until you get to the end of the quarter or the end of the half. And the way I like to do line of scrimmage, you just want two different markers. So let's say we start at the 20-yard line after a touchback. Then the 30 is your yards to go for first down. And then you would just move this, depending on the down and distance. So second down and 3, and then let's see, you make a 5-yard pass, so you change the marker to the 32, and then you got a first down, so you need to move the first down marker. So it just sort of works that way, back and forth. And finally, let's look at the penalties. So the game does have penalties. If you look down here with the roll, you can see a roll of 97 to 100 is going to be a penalty on the offense. And then we have our penalty chart here. So if you're playing with the game board, this will always sort of just be front and center where you can reference it. A 1 to 40 is going to be a false start, and then it tells you how many yards you should take off of the play. So a false start, there's no play, no time run off the clock. You just move the line of scrimmage 5 yards back. Same for holding, is a 41 to an 80. So you can see 80% of the plays are either going to be holding or false starts, which is by design. Those are the two most common penalties that you're going to have. There's also an opportunity for a delay of game, about 10% opportunity for that. Illegal block in the back, illegal formation, illegal substitution, and then if you roll 100, that's an intentional grounding. Now, remember that intentional grounding is minus 10 yards, but it's also a loss of down. So if it's second down, the rest of these you replay the down. But on an intentional grounding, if it's second down, you take off the 10 yards and it goes to third down. So that's the only one that has a loss of down, at least as far as the penalties that we have. So penalties do come into play. They can kill drives, just like they do in regular games that are being played. And I've seen it many times team just marching down the field. You get that 10-yard holding, and that just derails the entire drive. So just let the game play out and let it do its thing, and I think you'll see that the game plays pretty well, actually. Sometimes you get some rather unrealistic blowouts, but very often the games come out, within the realm of possibility for sure. Okay, so that's penalties and the game board. In the next video, I'll go over some special plays like kickoffs and punts.